Hey everybody, I'm Bill Vencil. This is Chords of Orion, and it's all about ambient guitar here. So I'm a YouTuber. I get called a lot of things, and I get compared to other people. But one that's a little hurtful that comes up from time to time is when I am accused of being high or on drugs as I'm shooting these YouTube videos. I've been called things like toasted, baked, high AF, high on drugs, high on terps. You name it, I've probably been accused of it. I can usually shrug it off and, not think about it, but it does sometimes hurt, as I said, because I can't help it. You see, back in 2009, in the summer, I contracted a case of shingles. If you don't know about shingles, it comes from the chickenpox virus. And in my case, shingles, the rash, landed right here on my neck, and it was intensely painful. After a couple days of dealing with it, I woke up one morning and this entire side of my face was paralyzed. I could feel it, but I couldn't move it. And that began a 6-month journey, if you will, maybe a hellacious 6-month journey of not having the use of half of my face. I had to tape my eyes shut at night to keep it from drying out. I had to hold my mouth shut when I took a drink of water to keep from making a mess. I couldn't speak clearly. There were a lot of issues, as you might imagine, from having half of one's face non-operational. Well, after several months, as I said, of dealing with it, finally through some medication, through some nutrition, and through acupuncture, and I think God's grace, I was able to regain almost all mobility back into this side of my face. But the muscles around this eye are still weak. The muscles around my mouth on this side are still a little weak. And I used to be really good at whistling, and I kind of can, but it took like 6 or 7 years to even get that kind of thing back. I'm really sad about that. There's also another reason why sometimes being accused of being high on camera hurts a little bit, and that is because my family, like so many families in America, have experienced a family member who really was a drug addict. We went through a lot in a period of time. And again, by God's grace, this family member that I'm referring to was able to come out of drug addiction and is now living a productive life with a family and children. It's awesome, but it was really hard. So maybe that gives you a little context about why I'm a little sensitive about that topic. Now, why am I bothering you with all of this whining? Well, I'm bothering you because I think it has a much broader application than me. I think for all of us as musicians and fellow artists, it's really good to realize that each one of us is deeply flawed in many ways, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, perhaps we've got a physical ailment like I had and still have a little bit of. Each one of us has many aspects about us as people that could be made fun of, and each one of us are in a position where it would be easy for another person to treat us cruelly. I don't want us to be doing that as musicians. I want us to be building one another up, supporting each other, helping each one of us to be the best people that we can be. I think about the old saying from the historic Christian faith that I follow, and that simply is, love your neighbor as yourself. Another way of putting that is just put yourself into the shoes of the person that you're interacting with. Basically, put yourself in their place to try and understand where they're coming from. Perhaps the musician, the ambient guitarist that you're listening to is very early on in their journey as a guitarist. Maybe they're switching from another genre and are just learning about ambient guitar. Maybe they're not very good yet, at recording and coming up with a really good sounding recording? Well, you've got a choice before you. You can use the anonymity of the internet and make hurtful comments, or you can use the magic of the internet and make helpful, constructive comments and really help support them and encourage them in their artistic journey. Wouldn't that be the preference for you? Wouldn't you rather people build you up and encourage you rather than cut you down? I think I know the answer to that. I think we all feel the same way. So this is my encouragement to all of us who are part of this Chords of Orion amazing ambient guitar community. Let's really work hard to encourage one another, to help one another. Maybe you'll have an opportunity to collaborate with someone else here in our community, but let's really be there for one another and help each other be the best musicians and the best people that we can be. I'll see all of you on the next video.